In real estate, there's certain forbidden fruits that people don't talk about, and we're going to talk about them today. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Hello.
Billy Bob, Billy Boy,
How you doing?
excellent. This is your last show for a while.
It could be. I might be coming back on for a special guest appearance on Thursday. So stay tuned. But this is our last Monday, Tuesday little stint for a few weeks at least. Not going
Where you
anywhere
going?
too serious, just a breakaway. I'll be back.
Where are you
though.
going?
I'm heading off to Europe and Thailand on the way home. So it'll be nice. Get to see all the family. Yeah, be good.
You get to see your favourite person in the world, Granddad.
That's it. He's on the shopping list. Yeah, no, it'd be good. Mum's running London Marathon this weekend, so I'll be there for the celebrations. I'll miss the race, but I'll be there for the celebrations. So it'll be
Good on her. Where's the marathon this weekend?
London. She's flown to London. Yeah.
Oh, so you're seeing? Where are you seeing her? In London.
Yeah. We'll meet in England. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. Good luck to Mum.
Thanks. Yeah, should be good. She doesn't need the luck. She's training hard.
Amazing. How long does she jog for?
I think world record's just 2 hours or so. So maybe give Mum 6 or something. 7. I don't. She's just got to complete it, really.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, so this morning's topic's really interesting one because people are often looking for metrics in the real estate market to see how the market is going, and there's certain things that agents hide, that buyers hide, that sellers hide, that solicitors hide, that we're going to uncover or tell the truths about this morning. An example is if you have to sell your property because you can't afford it because of interest rates or your job, we're going to talk about those things if we're seeing them at the moment, try to help people to understand the market a little bit better.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a list, and in no particular order. These are some of the things that they don't get talked about. So starting off, renovations going over budget. That always seems to be, people love doing a renovation, but they'll never tell you really how much they spend on it.
They love it. They'll never tell you how much the stuff ups cost in the renovation. There's a lot of those at the moment. You can't really afford to stuff up a reno in this climate with the labour costs and the building costs, material costs that we've got. So that's going a little bit out of control. How that's affecting us is we're finding people are more inclined to buying a finished property. They'll pay a little bit more for a finished property rather than an old OG, an old original to renovate. Not happening.
Do you reckon there's still the money to be made in house flipping as there was maybe 5 years ago?
No.
And
I reckon they're saying.
Has there ever been a good period for house flipping? Because I feel like you see it on the TV a lot in the States, but has there ever been a thing here?
Yeah, definitely has been a thing here. It is inhibited or hurt by the entry costs and the extra costs of real estate. So capital gains tax prevents people from, trading it within the first 12 months. It's a heavier tax. The stamp duty at 40 grand for $1 million prevents people from getting in and out quickly. It's a hell of a lot of money in agents' fees. So when you're looking at lumping up all those costs, it's you've got a pretty big upfront hurdle to get over before you start making money.
Yeah, it's true. It's it's difficult. There's a lot of tax in there. What have we got next? Selling for less. That's a real painful one for a lot of people.
Yeah, and look, Queensland's done brilliantly in the last 2 or 3 years, but we used to hear it over the last 20 or 30 years, that people were, coming back to Sydney from other areas of Australia and taking a hit. It's funny the way people leave with a bang, but they come back quietly. Sometimes when they lose money that way.
Yeah. Now, before
Morning,
the last morning, Luke. I love this. This is a good comment here. The market performs better than a Reno. That's sick. Go Queensland. Up to Queensland. Interest rates in general. Before it was really, front page of every newspaper, which it has been recently. Did it get the same kind of attention, same talk?
Always. Yep.
Nothing's changed there.
No.
No. The next one is also a tough pill to swallow. Shit capital growth. Property that hasn't made any money.
Yeah, so it's I think if you're not in the market a long time, it's funny, people have been asking me lately, how's the property market going? And I've been saying, look, really good the last 100 years. And I think it's going to, if they ask me, where do you think the market's going? I think it's going to be really good next 100 years. So, at the end of the day, if you want to take a short-term view of that property market, I think get ready for some pain if you buy or sell at the wrong times. But if you're a medium to long-term person, always good. Always.
Yeah. What about selling for unwanted reasons? So we were talking this morning. There's a few, but is it very often? I feel like it's not very often. You walk into a presentation and it's just the first thing that said, we're actually selling because we're separating or something like that.
We hate the balcony, or we hate the neighbours, or people often will mask that when selling for not good reasons. And I guess there's no metric in the marketplace for it.
No, it's not one of those things that really is determined by the market. But it's funny. It's as you said, it's often covered up by something else, and then you only get to the bottom of it, I guess, when once you're maybe a little bit further down the line. But do you think it would be helpful just to be upfront and honest about that?
I do. Strata Levy's a good example of it. We hate each other. Real estate agents don't talk to each other much. It's true. It's like the same animals in the same jungle. They just sort of walk past each other. But yeah, look, Billy, you brought up one just before, strata levies. I do think full disclosure with a shit strata building is good, and I do think there's benefits of buying a shit. You are getting a discount when you're buying a shit strata building, and people don't like to talk about it. They like to mask it and surprise buyers when they do a strata inspection. But I think if you learn about it and then you can share that with people, you can often get over that hump with that honesty. You're buying it at a discount, so it's another one.
The surprise is never a good one, especially when it comes to strata, because it's often the thing that you're often offer accepted, or you got verbal offer accepted. Let's download the strata report, and then it comes up. So better to just be upfront and honest with it. Want to be a good buyer, learn good negotiations. Absolutely. Strata is complicated unless you know the numbers. Yeah. Now, you were saying off air there's restructuring finances as one.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't qualify for loans anymore that have loans. They often have to get out of the current loan because the interest rates are crazy, and they don't fit into the profile. So I know, particularly, I know an older client of mine that he's in his 80s with money being borrowed, and owns quite a lot of properties, like in excess of 30-40 properties, has a level of debt across those properties, and the banks just turned up and said,
No more?
We're closing up your facility.
Really? Wow. And
Yep.
Do they give a reason why, or?
Absolutely. You don't fit the bank's profile any longer.
Yeah, right. So it can
And
happen
so
to
if
us.
he's got, if he's someone like that's worth a lot, got a lot of income. They don't care. Just doesn't fit that age. Doesn't profile with them any longer, or doesn't resonate. They'll do it with industries. They'll do it with age. They'll do it with offshore clients. So they'll often bank offshore clients. Next thing you know, the profile of banks change. They don't want to bank offshore clients anymore. And these guys, it's quite a difficult conversation to have with their real estate agent or with the market. But people trying to get finance now, the level of degree, how much harder it is today than what it was in any year the last 10 or 20 years. It's really changed now, and for that reason people are disposing of properties.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you think in a transaction, generally speaking, do you think the buyer is more honest about where their budget is, about all these other things, whether they're looking at any other properties, how badly they want it, or do you reckon that the person selling is more honest? Maybe for
I don't think the mechanics of whether they're buying or selling matters. I think it's almost the professional type of person people are, and some people are just full disclosure and they will just tell you everything. And I've got to say, you can do it. You can as a real estate agent, as a consultant, as a professional, you can tailor a better solution when you know all the good, bad, and ugly. Yeah. When you don't know that stuff, sometimes you're just firing bullets in the wrong direction. I think equally people are the same.
Yeah, Jeff's nailed it there. Better to deal with it than hide from it,
Yeah.
Anything else? Any others you can think of?
Was there anything else on the list?
No, we nailed the list.
We nailed the list.
Yeah.
That's probably it, and I think it's going on in a lot of people's minds. They want to know these things. Like I always get asked the question as if we're doing a lot of mortgaging possessions, because that's sort of hidden pretty well from the banks, by the banks to people, and we're not seeing a lot of mortgaging possessions. I've been speaking to brokers and saying, how are you going out there? You're getting a lot of people that are actually aren't getting phone calls saying, look, we're stuffed because of the interest rates, and they're not. And I read a really good article the other day that the historic savings over the last 2 years compared to the last 20 years are at all-time highs this month. So in the last month and two, people have saved more than ever.
Yeah, wow. I also saw that Australians are amongst the wealthiest country in the world.
Yeah, what did an average Australian have in assets?
I didn't go into it, but yeah.
I think I read 200,000. I think I read 214,000.
It's pretty good. It's pretty bloody good, especially for the times we've just gone through. So, yeah, it's
absolutely.
But those are the things.
And I think we were number one in the world for it.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So that's a show.
Aussies love property. It's where the money is. That's for sure.
However, we've done it. However, we've built in that equity and that value into everyone. We've done it well. So great country.
That's it. Yeah. Watch out.
Billy, enjoy overseas. We're going to miss you. How long are you going for?
About 6 weeks, but I might be back on Thursday, so stay tuned. But yeah, if I don't see you, a lot of love out there to the Morning Minutes family. Yeah, we'll be back soon.
Hey Billy, how do you afford to buy a property and go overseas for 6 weeks and go out and party and do everything and only be 18 years of age. Do you have a money tree that you're not telling us about?
No, but I will tell you one thing. Yesterday, it's decision making, I guess, right? Everything's got to be put into decision making. And yesterday's decision making was deliberating between, do I eat the beef and cheese and put it in a sandwich with some pretty like manky lettuce? And you can, if you don't believe me, you can ask Michael Silich. So I was standing there putting it into a bread roll. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to eat it for lunch. So it was definitely, a day or two past its sell-by date. Or do you just go and buy lunch? And I decided to just smash the sandwiches. And I've woken up all right this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then I got home and I had the same kind of dilemma because basically I bought all this food at the start of the week last week, but didn't spend much time at home. So then I had some mince. And I was like, if I cook it well enough, surely it will just go into a spaghetti bolognese. And so I just chose to do that as well. So that's kind of how I do it, just decision making.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
And that goes for young and old.
I honestly thought I'd wake up this morning though, just with my stomach in turmoil, but no, I was all right. I think if it was a day or two later, it would have been bad news. It was really pushing it.
So if you want to dream and get what you want, just make good decisions.
just don't nail the bad food too much. That's all.
See you, legend. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Take care.